So, since I posted my video discussing the terms of service and how not to get banned, I was still getting questions in the comments section of that video. Most of these questions were asking me things I already discussed, but there were still some valid questions that were not addressed properly. And because there was a recent controversy that prompted Sky Mavis to update their terms of service, or TOS, I thought that this was a perfect chance to hit two birds with one stone and revisit the topic. As I was reading through the Axie Infinity and Sky Mavis's recently updated TOS, wait, it says updated July 9, 2020? It's supposed to be July 9, 2021. Ah well, typos like these are sometimes overlooked. Just like you may have overlooked subscribing to Soltos. 96.5% of you guys aren't even subscribed, so press the red button and subscribe now for more great content. Anyway, I'm not going through the entire terms of service again, you can just watch my old video for that. But I'll go through the new changes that they made and answer some of the questions and concerns that you had, especially the ones that you asked on my previous video. So, let's begin. Let's start with the intellectual property rights. With the updated TOS, they actually removed the section regarding fan art. Before, there was a section that restricted and limited what you could do commercially with the Axies that you own and their likeness. But I guess they removed it because the main purpose of having NFTs is owning all the rights associated with it. So now, if you want to monetize the likeness of the Axies you own, the TOS now has nothing to limit or restrict you. Next up is the user representation. As discussed in my previous video, this was the section where most people had questions about. And this was usually the section that people didn't follow, which led to their bans. So this section was changed due to the recent 1 millionth Axie controversy. So let's take a look at what changed, shall we? On the fifth point, they clarified the part where they say, you will not access the site, the app, and the smart contracts through automated and non-human means, whether through a bot, script, or otherwise. They have now added the section except as expressly mentioned herein. Scholarship management, building public tools and bots that facilitate transparency and analysis, breeding except when there is a breeding event happening. Axie Infinity will announce these events at least 1 week in advance on Discord and Twitter. Interacting with the breeding smart contracts directly during breeding events is expressly prohibited. So now, the devs have clarified allowing some automation if it's for the good of the community. For example, there are some apps or tools that allow managers to extract QR codes for their scholars more easily. Because this helps make managers' lives easier, especially if they're managing hundreds of scholars, then this particular botting or scripting is allowed because it will help the whole Axie community. The public tools and bots that use the game's API, like being able to track scholars' SLP gains for the day or checking the overall leaderboards, are allowed because they provide the Axie community with more information about the game and again therefore helps the community. And the breeding scripts that MaxBrand99 infamously used are also still allowed because breeding Axies one by one is very tedious, especially when you're breeding hundreds of Axies. More Axies will help the economy of the game, and therefore this is allowed. But they did say now that if there is an event tied to breeding Axies, they will inform us a week in advance and will not allow the use of these scripts until the breeding event is finished. This stipulation is just to even out the odds for everyone trying to win the event. The ninth point is a new addition to the TOS, which states, Axie owners are responsible for all actions that their scholars properly, and any action undertaken by an account will be blamed on the account owner as well as the connected accounts. I think a bit of a typo there, but anyway, the gist of this new line is just to expand the TOS because there have been instances where the managers didn't know that their scholar did something against the TOS and complained that their Axies shouldn't be banned if the scholar account gets banned. So the inclusion of this in the TOS just means that managers should be aware of what their scholars are doing and inform them of what they can and cannot do so that they don't get banned. It also prevents managers from using their scholars as scapegoats if they ask them to do things that are illegal or against the TOS. The 10th point in the user representation section is also new, and it says any attempts to manipulate the energy system, such as gifting Axies to make use of more energy, is a violation of the multi-accounting rule. So there was an exploit going around where one account would use their 20 energy and then gift 3 Axies to another account and use the 20 energy there. Then again, they would pass back the 3 Axies to another account and do this repeatedly. So even though the Axies stay at level 1 when you transfer them, you basically had unlimited energy if you kept passing to different accounts. So now this particular exploit is explicitly stated in the TOS and can now get you banned. The only other section in the TOS that had any changes was the prohibited activities. And what was the main change? They added bullet points. Yes, they formatted the section to make it more readable. That's it. Well, almost. They basically added the words except as mentioned in 2.5 on this particular bullet point, which is just referencing what we discussed earlier with the allowing of some automation and botting if it's for the good of the community. Alright, now that we've discussed the changes, let's move on to the questions that I got after posting my previous video on how not to get banned. So I'll have this multi-accounting matrix up so you guys can see the basics of what can and can't get you banned, and I'll start answering questions from the previous video and my other social media. First question is it okay to connect to other Wi-Fi connections like Wi-Fi from home, Wi-Fi from office, and Wi-Fi from school? Yes, you can connect to different Wi-Fis just as long as you're playing on one account only. So, can I play with 2 accounts in a different device as long as it's not on the same time? Because you said 1 account per 24 hours only. Well, if one person is playing on 2 accounts, even on different devices, this is considered multi-accounting, just like the upper right panel of the multi-account matrix. So, no, it's a bannable offense. Can we log in at the same time if we are using one account but with different devices? Plus, we're siblings, so we also live in one roof. So this is a combination of the top left, and bottom right of the multi-accounting matrix. So technically it is allowed, but if you are playing the game and your brother logs in while you're playing, then you will get logged off. What if I accidentally log in my account at my friend's phone to grab the QR code, but I didn't realize that I can log in my account through my phone and I can grab the QR code? That friend of mine has no Axie and account is currently at his phone, but he has plans to create and buy Axies. Is it bannable or not? And if it's bannable, will 2 of us get banned or not? I did not play Axie or sync my Axie on my friend's phone. It happened 3 days ago. I hope you answer my question. I'm sorry that this is a late reply, but to tackle the main point, which is accidental logins of a friend's account or someone else's account, like for example, your scholar's account, as long as you don't log in and farm SLP, it should be okay. Just log right back out and wait 24 hours before logging in that same account. The devs' main concern is people farming SLP with more than one account. So as long as you don't do that, I doubt that you will get banned. Can you use an emulator? No. This is against the terms of service, and using an emulator will definitely get you banned. I bought an Axie from the marketplace and synced it. Can I play immediately or is that bannable? Some people told me that I need to wait 24 hours before you sync into the account and play. So no, this is not true. I don't know where this myth came from, but once you buy Axies from the marketplace, you can sync them to your account and play right away. How about getting banned for being AFK? Some of my friends playing Axie said that being AFK will cause you to get banned. So no, this is not true. You cannot be banned for being AFK. However, what might have happened with your friends is the bot verification notification popped up and they weren't able to complete it, which this is usually by sliding a puzzle or clicking OK to say that you are not a bot. So if they fail to do this, it will cause the account to get locked for a few minutes. So the next time, make sure that you are able to complete this bot verification test. Otherwise, your account will get banned for a longer period of time. Do you know if using a VPN would make it against the rules? So there's nothing in the terms of service that specifically prohibits using VPN, so feel free to use VPNs if you need to. Can I play Axie Infinity even if my time zone is changing every day? Because I am a seafarer and I'm on a ship, so what do you think? Is that prohibited? So I think the confusion that stems with time zone changes stems from the time that people got banned because they tried to change their game clock to be able to log in during maintenance. So there is nothing that will get you banned if you just leave your clock as is and it automatically changes. Just don't try to physically change the clock to log in when you know there is a maintenance. I heard rumors that 2 people in one family who played Axie Infinity got banned because their playstyle was kind of the same. And the next person says, I'm planning to scholar my cousin, but also afraid that this might happen. We only use one Wi-Fi, and of course she'll have a different device. Now let's take a look again at the multi-account matrix, and you can see that these concerns are not under any of the bannable offenses. So I think this is just other players spreading fear, uncertainty, and doubt between other players, and take this as what it is, just a rumor. Could I be banned for selling an Axie on the marketplace at a higher price than I bought it for? A friend of mine told me that I might be, but it makes no sense. I have found absolutely nothing regarding that. I'd appreciate if you could just clarify so I can sleep in peace. Well, my friend, you can sleep in peace because this is called capitalism. You can sell Axies at a higher price or whatever price you want to place them at. If capitalism was illegal, then I probably would stop playing Axie Infinity. No one wants to play for a communist game. And I think we can end it on that note. If you guys have more questions on what can or can't get you banned, leave them in the comments section below, and maybe I'll just do another video to answer your questions. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and since I've been answering questions, I'll answer one from my Discord channel. Who is the president in your country? It's this man right here. So that should give you guys a hint, and also from the Discord, the meme of the week. So hope you guys enjoyed, guys, and this is your Captain Solthos signing out. See you guys in the next video. Bye!